ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਸ਼ੋ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਸੋ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਮਾਈ ਡੈਡ ਐਂਡ ਗੁਰਵਿੰਦਰ ਬਾਸੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਆਮ ਬੈਕ ਦਿਸ ਵੀਕ ਤੇ ਬੈਕ ਵਿਦ ਅ ਬੈਂਗ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਨਾਲੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ 'ਚ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਿੱਤੀ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਧੂਮ ਧਮਾਕਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਧੂਮ ਧਮਾਕਾ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਟ ਇਨ ਅ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਗਰੁੱਪਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਢੋਲੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਭਰੂਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੁਟਿਆਰਾਂ ਜੀ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਕੇ ਗਿੱਧਾ ਪਾਊਗੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਲੈਪ ਕਰੂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਓਲ ਦਾ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਸਟੱਫ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕਰੂਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਢੋਲ ਜੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਵਜਾਊਗੇ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਇਹ ਟਰੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦਿਸ ਗਰਲਸ ਇਨ ਦਿਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਮੋਲਡ ਚੇਂਜ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਵੈਰੀ ਥੈਂਕਫੁਲ ਵੈਰੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਟੂ ਸੇ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੰਜਾਬਣ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਜਸਟ ਐਜ਼ ਪੈਸ਼ਨੇਟ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਐਜ਼ ਦ ਬॉयਜ਼ ਆਰ ਐਂਡ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੂਵ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਐਂਡ recently they've made an achievement which probably the boys haven't done is that they've appeared in a Bollywood film beside Sunny Deol and Bobby Deol and Dharminder and all sorts of other characters ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ featured ਕੀਤਾ recently so I'm welcoming onto the show Eternal Taal who are all here big sat sri akal to you
hello sat sri akal how are you
I'm good first of all you know I used to think that Bhangra is just for the lads and after we've had a few glaciers they go on a dance floor and the girls just stand there once but you're breaking the mold I see
yeah we're trying to look bright and vibrant as possible of course we wore this in the Bollywood shoot so it's very important for us to represent uniforms on your show
tell me ਕਿ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਦਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜਾਂ ਢੋਲ ਪਲੇਇੰਗ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ why did you want to do that why didn't you want to do other stuff that normal girls do or normal girls just girls I'm not saying you're not normal but yeah just that girls do you know like girls usually become models or feature in videos you know like they're sorting their ball out and in a fashion function kardiyan you lot are not doing that at all ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ doing more bhangra than the lads
I think you know it's a very male dominating industry
100%
and what we're trying to do is to promote bhangra and perform it and our ideal movement was to make sure it's all female based and that's what we achieved. I mean, we started in 1999 in a small town, Smethwick in Birmingham. Yeah. And, you know, we've all come together to share the same passion, and we're here today with you.
How hard was it for you to people to take you seriously? Because to see, even with for your parents, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹੋ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਕਾਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਬੜੇ ਆਏ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪਾ did you face a lot of that do you think?
When we first started out, because you know there's not much females about in the industry, I think as we started out it was difficult. But you know, as time went on, quite a few females started to come out the industry and started to get a bit more confident, and especially when they see a female manager or a teacher or a coach, I think they've got more confidence, and you can ask any of these. They were really shy when they first started, but they've really come out the shell. Of course, we've got little Rav here, who's you know is the youngest in the group.
I was going to say, yeah, how old is Rav?
Rav's 10. Yeah, she's the youngest in the group.
And how long has she been with your group?
She's been with us for about a year.
About a year.
Yeah.
When you started off, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੱਚੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ group 'ਚ?
When we first started off, it was just kind of like friends. Let's get together, let's perform at social and cultural events. Probably about 3 or 4 of us.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, over time when we started to do the hard graft, starting to post flyers, starting to perform at, you know, our Vasaki Mele, which is in Smethwick, and charity events, the word got out more and more, and we, you know, we started to get a lot more shows, a lot more high-profile shows. And
did you get a lot of girls coming up to you and say, "SCVA karna chahne hain"?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they all inquired at one point, saying, "Wow, you know, this is awesome," yeah. and you know, they're all really unique and brilliant in their own way. And
now I've seen your videos online, yeah, and you've played at Glastonbury, which it's a big festival. You've obviously been in the Dharminder film as well. You've also done Leicester Square.
Yeah, we did the Trafalgar Square. Yeah,
Trafalgar Square. It seems you've been like, because of this, you've been all over the place on the main stages where we'd only expect like big superstars like Malkeet or, you know, Jazzy B to go to. But you've been there and done it because Glastonbury is a big festival.
Yeah, I mean, we did Glastonbury 2009 for 3 years in a row. Again, with hard work and sheer recognition, we did a few shows before Glastonbury. When people see, you know, females on stage or Bhangra dancers, because some of these are dancers, it's just something unique. And, you know, that's where the inquiry came on. Do you guys do festivals? And we were like, we jumped to the chance because Glastonbury Festival is the world's biggest music festival.
Huge.
And it was amazing to take about 23 of us that first year. And it was amazing, yeah.
Do you ever, like, do you get females come up to you because they're too shy to dance with males in a group, or because of our culture, you know, some parents don't want their daughters mixing with males and all that. And that's how we think, well, hold on, do you get a lot of that?
I think it's just feeling more comfortable. Like, when I'm dancing with the girls in the group, you just feel more comfortable. So it's just, I think our parents will respect you, like, and think, oh yeah, like, it's all right, it's girls. If it was guys, it's just a bit, oh...
It's a bit dodgy,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, it's not happening. But
yeah, exactly.
see, that is, if a lot of people out there, बहुत मापे out there who'd think, उन्हें कुड़ियां dance करना चाहनियां, भंगड़ा करना चाहनियां, पाना चाहनियां, but ਜਦੋਂ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪਾਉਣਾ, ha, and I'd be like, no, ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ. And it's a natural thing, you know, a natural concern. So I think that has definitely helped. You've helped that quite a lot, Hannah. Is it just females, or have you got a few males in there as well?
Yeah, we do have a few.
Yeah, we've got a few males. Of course, at some performances, they don't allow female performers, especially you know, different Asian communities. So we do send out our lead lads that are in the group. But predominantly our group are female. We've got female Bhangra dancers, female DJs, female Sangeet singers, female band. I can go on and on. So we're trying to keep it like a female group.
How many people in your group now?
There's 27 of us in total.
27?
Yeah.
And who's the oldest? How old is the oldest member and how old is the youngest member?
We've got little Rav and little Anrita, who are between 10 and 12.
Wow.
And then the oldest is myself. Yeah. I can't really reveal
I can't really want to know.
Job, you know, but I could just say I'm the oldest. But yeah, that's
right. So it's quite a wide range, a spectrum.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, Harjap, we don't feel it. We are such a close group. You know, we treat each other like sisters.
Sisters, yeah.
And you know, we socialise with each other. The parents are amazing. You know, they're all watching at home today. You know, sitting there watching. You know,
all suddenly they have TV there. You know.
Yeah, definitely, especially little Rav. Yeah. So it's more of an honour to be beside, you know, stages and yourself, obviously, and having the opportunity to be together and experiencing it together.
Okay, tell me what it was like to work with. And you know, when you got the Bollywood film, when that came through, I mean, you must have first thought, wow, this is amazing. And because I know a lot of artists and a lot of groups try to get into Bollywood to the extent they even pay to get in there, but Bollywood go to Randy, they take the money off them and they give them a 2-minute slot. But for you lot to be a female Bhangra group, to be in a Dharminder film, it's quite big. What does it feel like?
It was amazing. I don't think any of us can probably put it into words how amazing it was. I think when we first heard about it, it didn't really, well, for me, it didn't really hit me. It's when you get onto the actual platform and you're actually standing next to them, and you know, even if their back is towards you, you're like, oh my God, I'm actually sharing the screen. Oh my God. And you know, when you've grown up all your life watching Bollywood films, and then all of a sudden you're standing next to these people that, you know, you kind of idolize in a way, you kind of get speechless. You can't really put it into words.
I know exactly how you feel, because there's times when I've interviewed stars like, you know, Akshay Kumar and stuff. I just sit there and I think, is it you? I can't believe it. You get awestruck, don't you, really? And no matter how much, you know, you try and get used to it, it's just a different level. Yeah. And Bhangra artists have their own level, but when you're dealing with Bollywood stars, they're just on a total level. I mean, how long were you with the crew for? The film crew?
It was a 3-day shoot, and there was 15 drummers on set. Yeah. And we did a very early 6 o'clock start. We'd stay there all day. You know, it was a 3 to 5 minute song, and to be honest, it took us 8 hours a day for 3 days.
So people who are home thinking, "Inane ki kita told, jab jaya 2 minute liye na, adhe ghante chho gaya."
You know, Harjap, tere baal nahi sahi, tera pair nahi sahi, tere baal nahi sahi, and we were just like shot after shot after shot. It was
so
very.
10 din lag gaye.
Yeah, the parents were with us.
Shoot karne.
Yeah, it did take 3 days to do that. I mean, we went over a couple of days, but a lot of us couldn't do it because of work commitments. But, you know, when you're in Bollywood, you don't think of work, you don't think of commitments, you just think we are on a Bollywood set alongside big stars. You know, our parents idolize these. We love, you know, watching these Bollywood films. So being on the sets together was a really, really big achievement for us.
I saw an interview of yourself where you said, look, that this is a chance for us to tell our kids, or in the future, look, this is something your mum has done in her life, you know. And
yeah,
that's an
definitely.
achievement. Was that the motivation behind
definitely. It? I mean, you know, that Bollywood film, when it releases, you know, that's going to be on our shelves, that we can tell our kids, our grandkids, our kids' kids. I mean, even the parents now at home, they must have watched that part of the song probably 100 times and tell their parents and their pua and the chacha and everybody that's coming around for his cup of tea. That film is, you know, that song for us, when we went to see it, it's just a big highlight for us, yeah.
Did you go to the cinema?
We all went together. We all booked it together, yeah. It was good.
And you probably said to pause, kari, end kari film.
I don't think we even realised, like, when I was on set for myself, I didn't even realise that, you know, I'm with these Bollywood stars. When we was all sitting in the cinema and we was watching ourselves, we were like, oh my gosh, that's us, that's our team, Taal Bhangra, on the big screen. And I think that's when it hit me, like, that we're actually on the big screen in the cinema.
Well, we've got a little clip of Use Lot in action, and we've got a video clip here, and सारे दिखा दी कि की करते हैं, क्यों इन्हां नूं चुनिया धर्मिंदर जी ने, ते ओ क्लिप रेडी है, आ देखो इन्हां दा कमाल के की करते हैं. Eternal Taal, who we're talking to today, जिन्हां दा गाना यमला पगला दीवाना टू विच तुसी देख सकदे सूट तेरा लाल रंग दा उन्हां च इन्हां ने play कीता quite prominently. I think the song starts off from Use Lot.
Yeah, the opening was us, yeah, and you know.
Bobby Gaddi cho nikalda.
Yeah. That take took about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We were there in the cold. It was hard graft. I mean, you know, there's 15 of us, and if you don't get one scene right, or somebody's foot's out of line, or you're out of sync, or something, we have to redo the whole thing.
Is it really that specific? I mean, Bollywood films, are they really meticulous? Like, what are you telling it?
You wouldn't believe it. I mean, we were there for 3 days. You know, we all stuck together. We all made sure that we knew what we were doing ourselves. But everybody else around, there's at least 150, 100, 200 people around us.
Wow.
And they were all trying to be in sync. They were all trying to get their moves right. So it wasn't just us. It was, you know, all the car tire doesn't look right. The door wasn't opening in sync.
Oh, no.
They had to do that scene. You wouldn't believe, and we were pretty cold.
And how were the stars? How did they act with you? Were they like, okay, you're the extras and we're limited with you? Or were they happy and friendly and did they take photos with you? Obviously, that's the first thing everyone wants is a photo.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, we were in conversation with them quite a few times in the day because obviously there's quite a lot of us in the same uniform. So you know, Bobby Deol did come up to us and say, you know, who are you guys? Where are you from? And he was saying, you know, come on, Dad, you know, come on, Daddy, let's get a picture. So they were all really friendly people. Even the producers, the people backstage. It was really good. Honestly, it was good.
What I want to ask you is, right, because girls at home and mum and dads at home will ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਚੋਂ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਮਿਲਿਆ so far ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ what have you gained out of doing this?
I think the biggest thing that we've all gained is we're doing something we love. You can't put a price on that. I think, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, you're getting experience. Yeah, you know, you're having a good time, but you are doing something you love, and that's the bottom line, I think.
Because a lot of girls obviously out there love to dance, yeah? And Punjabi girls love to dance anyway. So this is something where you can just channel your hobby and your energies too?
Definitely. I think, you know, it's not just your hobbies and you know, something you like to do on the side. It becomes your life. You don't even realise it takes over. You know, I think... it takes over. I mean, I probably speak to every one of these people like every day, like all the time, whenever I get time. That's how much it takes over. It's not a group, it becomes a family. And yeah.
Do you have to be fairly disciplined to do what you do? I mean, it looks like as if you have to be fairly disciplined, in sync, and you know, and there's a lot of effort involved, and routines must take a lot of time for you to do, right? It's not something you can just turn up on a Saturday at 6 o'clock at someone's party and do and then go home.
Yeah, Harjap, we're live on TV, so we just don't turn up. I mean, we do 6 hours a week of training.
Right.
So we do 6 hours.
So she kind of probably practice it.
Yes, 3 hours of Taal and then 3 hours Bhangra dancing. That's all female based, and then the Taal's mixed. And you know, 6 hours a week, every week of every week of the year. We don't have holidays. We have to work hard to achieve what you know. I've been doing it for 14 years. We're celebrating 14 years this year, and to start off with a couple of friends to a renowned group, you have to train hard, and that's what I tell these guys. You know, we can go out there, we can get on stage, you can develop your skills, you can interact with the crowd. But if you don't rehearse and you practice and you haven't got that discipline, you won't be able to show that off to the audience that are watching. You know.
Is this something where your mum and dad sit at home and they feel, they feel quite proud of you? Have they actually spoken to you and said, yeah, actually, I'm very happy with what you do, I'm very proud of what you do? Or is it for them thinking, oh, okay, there's a bunch of girls, they're doing their hobbies, they'll grow out of it when they're about 20, 21, or when they go to uni or something like that? Is it something they take seriously? Or they understand that you lot take seriously?
Well, it all started from my father, who's in the Guinness Book of Records for starting Bhangra in the UK. He's the pioneer, the Pachangi group. Yeah. And his dream and his passion and his love is celebrating 46 years this year. So his love and passion is music, you know.
Dalbir and Balbir,
yeah, brothers, that started in 1967. And that passion, when I was growing up as a little girl, going to his, his little functions, his charity shows, his weddings, and me picking up instruments like the drum kit, the Taal, I thought, you know what, I really want to do this properly. I can do this.
Yeah,
and Dad never once, my parents or family never once said to any of us that you can't do this because you're a girl. You can do this because you're really good at it.
So you got a lot of backing from
We had amazing backups, throughout my life. And, as soon as Dad gave that push, I said, Dad, I love what you're doing, but I'm going to go this way and I'm going to do my own thing. And he loved it. He was like, yeah, do it. You know, his dream was to reach Bollywood. Yeah. In those days, it was very hard to make a living. And his dream was to go to Bollywood, seeing his daughter in it, plus my little girls in it. You know, the words can't describe how he would be feeling. I know he's watching at home today, especially everybody else.
Whenever I interview, say, Alap and Hira, Premi, they always say one thing, they say, Harjap, it was hard in them days. Jata si bacche paalde apne family rakhe ja si Bollywood ja sakte si. And in the end, I think they made the choice. Look, we want to still be in the UK, but look after our families at the same time.
Yeah.
And the children are a credit to them really, because you can abandon your family and go to Bollywood. It's short term. You know how long Bollywood careers last, 1 year, 2 years. And at the end, you come back and your family could be in pieces. But they made the right decision to choose their families.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he had the chance, and it went out of his hands. He was in Mumbai. He had a he had a song that they could release potentially, and they did say Mr. Blabir, you have to stay in India if you want this released. And, they had so many commitments back home in the UK. The opportunity just went out their hands. But when we got the call for Bollywood, I says to these, like, can we take a week off? Can we take a couple of days off, guys? Can we go to this? And my dad says, forget everything, get there, because once you get that opportunity leaves your hands, he goes, he regrets it now. He goes, once that opportunity leaves your hands, you'll never come back to it. And we just said, right, that's it.
Right, we're going to go to a break, and after that, we're going to see what you do live. So stay tuned. Whether they're all talk or whether they're a real deal. Break the back. Welcome back to the show. As the girls are getting ready, we're going to remind you once again, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਫੀਮੇਲ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਹੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਗਿੱਧਾ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਪਰ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦੇਖੀਦੇ ਆ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੇਲ ਓਰੀਐਂਟੇਟਡ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਗਿੱਧਾ ਡਾਂਸਰਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ। ਆਫ ਆਲ ਫੀਮੇਲ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਭਾਜੀ ਇਸ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ, ਨਾ ਉਸ ਡੈਫੀਨਿਟਲੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਕਰੇਜ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਐਂਡ ਇੰਕਰੇਜ ਉਹ ਕੰਮਾਂ 'ਚ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ 'ਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੁਨਰ ਆ, ਸਕਿੱਲ ਹੈਗਾ। ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਰਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇਨ ਟੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ, ਆਪਣੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਇਨ ਟੱਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਆਲਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਂਸ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਕਿੱਲ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਲਈ। ਅਤੇ ਫੀਮੇਲ ਢੋਲ ਪਲੇਅਰ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਦੇਖੇ ਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਦੇਖੇ, ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੇਲਸ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ। ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਢੋਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ, ਹੁਣ ਗਰਾਜਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਟੇ ਹੋ ਅੱਧਿਆਂ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਜਾ ਕੇ ਗੁਆਂਢੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਠਾਲ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ ਠੀਕ ਆ। ਅਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਲਾਈਵ। Take it away, girls. And as you make your way back, ਆਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧਮਾਕਾ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਜਾਂ ਲੜਕੀਆਂ ਵਧੀਆ? ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁਨਰ, ਐਂਡ ਇਟਸ ਐਫਰਟ। ਦੈਟ ਵਾਸ ਬ੍ਰਿਲੀਅੰਟ, ਦੈਟ ਵਾਸ ਐਬਸੋਲੂਟਲੀ ਐਕਸਲੈਂਟ ਜੋ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਦਿਖਾ ਲਿਆ। ਇਹ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਟਰਨਲ ਤਾਲ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ 14 ਸਾਲ, ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ 14 ਸਾਲ 'ਚ ਅੱਗੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਪੱਕਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਕੱਚਾ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ 14 ਸਾਲ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਐਤਕੀ ਐਨੀਵਰਸਰੀ ਮਨਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਐਂਡ ਇਟਸ ਗ੍ਰੇਟ ਟੂ ਸੀ them actually do this. It's brilliant. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. How long does that take for you to choreograph and to get together? Breathe
there. Too much pressure. Harjap, we've trained for a long time. The girls, some of them have been for a year, some of them have been 3-4 years. We've got a professional door group. Aman runs the professional female Bhangra dancing group. So we do have to train at least 3-4 months before a show commences.
मैं तो ये दसो कि who do you learn Taal from? Is it from females or males?
Well, I got taught from my dad initially.
Okay. And you're passing that on, are you?
And then these are all my students who learned Taal off me.
Wow. And how many do you have in your Taal classes?
Taal classes vary between, say, 8 to 12 students for each class. There's a beginners, intermediate, advanced. Our classes are held in Birmingham, if anyone's interested.
No, brilliant.
And I Bhangra female fitness classes for advanced and trainees are on a Friday that Aman runs. So, yeah, we've got a lot going on. Again, on weekends, we go out on stage shows. We do our ladies Sangeet nights. We do our Jago nights. So, week in, week out, as well as being students, everyone, you know, little one, Ravels,
full time right?
We are in full-time education.
Okay. And
then, you know,
this is just what you do for show.
This is like a passion.
But now it's going to the next levels when you're hitting Bollywood and...
yeah, I mean, when you get the opportunity of a Bollywood phone call, you can't really say no.
Of course,
I mean, you know, they said, oh, we need you for 5 days. We didn't even think about college or work. We just thought, can we do this? 15 of us were there. We had the parents on our side, and we did what we had to do, yeah.
How long does it take to, like I said, choreograph something like this? How many routines do you have? Do you have 1 or 2 routines, or do you have hundreds?
Oh, Harjap, I'm confused myself sometimes. I was on there thinking, okay, which routine? We've got specific routines for specific occasions.
Right.
Especially for radios and TV appearances, we've got a specific routine. When we go into stage shows, or if it's a ladies Sangeet or a Jago, it's a walk-in. We've got about at least 6 to 12 different routines. I mean, Aman knows all the dance side of things. I'm just a tolli, and sometimes I do the dance as well. But the best thing is, I learned Bhangra dancing and Taal, and Aman's starting to learn Taal and Bhangra, and so does everybody else. We're trying to incorporate everything together.
Listen, women are well known for not getting on with each other, and usually a bit of glaze comes in and all that. And I know, trust me, I grew up amongst loads of women, so I know what. Does it ever happen? I mean, how do you get all Punjabi women to get on? It's like, oh God, forget it. But how do you all get on, or do you always have a fight or something? Are you always fighting? It doesn't look like it.
No way.
No, like I think we just see each other as family. Like we all get on, we all go out, we all go for a meal,
and you socialise as well.
Yeah. And I think with like Rav, she looks up to us, and we just—it's just like it's nice having little girls like just having fun and doing what we love as well.
Like I said, to get some sort of dance routine in sync, to develop a routine, how long does it take you to do that? 6 months, 3 months?
We pick up routines just like that. Our advanced dancers, we can do it in an hour's lesson, but it does take a lot of practice and a lot of time. To be like just then, we were doing that for quite a long time, just trying to prepare, and we just practice, make sure our legs are right, our arms are right. It does take quite a long time.
Do people book you for weddings and all that? Because I would, because it's something different. I've seen blokes do Bhangra all the time, you know, but I haven't seen that, you know, once in a while. So do you get a lot of bookings for weddings and stuff like this?
Most Asian communities are female orientated, you know, at their Mehndi night, the Vilimas, the ladies Sangeet nights, the Jago, mainly females. So having a male DJ or a male tolli sometimes doesn't work. And 80% of our performances and our audiences are female orientated because they want to see females do what the men do, but a bit better. So like we try and incorporate that, and they love it totally.
Right, does any of you now, because when blokes become Bhangra dancers, then they go think, right, I'm DJ banna, and I want to be a singer, and I want to be on the music channel doing my stuff, wearing my bling and all that. Does any of you want to do that? Want to make that sort of step? Are we going to see a DJ Amma or a DJ Rav? DJ Rav featuring Pav?
I think in our bedrooms, maybe, but you know, we're so busy in what we do. We spend hours doing our training classes. We spend hours doing our performances. Will we ever have time or job to be a DJ, you know? I mean, we do our female DJs. We do that for ladies Sangeet nights, and especially Muslim audiences, they want a female DJ there. Someone to, you know, put some songs together. And
it's not just popular then in just Punjabis, is it? It's Muslim communities.
No, definitely.
You must perform for all different communities, right?
Definitely. I mean, Harjap, we hardly perform to Punjabis because it's our audiences are mostly Muslim, they're, you know, English. Because we're so diverse, we incorporate not just Punjabi, we've got a bit of, you know, Gidda into it. We try and incorporate a bit of English music into it. You know, so we're trying to cater to our audience that watches. It's not just Punjabans, Soot Pake, you know, we do Punjabi music. We try and meet all our audiences. Glastonbury Festival were all English people. They were all English, even, you know, we performed at Eden Project.
If you talk Punjabis, you've got to sit on the floor in a tent.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like, exactly. Mitti naal kolna penda. They go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
properly.
And they loved it. They loved the whole vibrant style of us. They loved the whole culture. They loved the whole intense moments when we're on stage. So we try and incorporate all that into our routines. You know, I tell them to eat healthy. I tell them to like go to the gym or be, you know, have that kind of, you know, you have to have stamina and discipline on stage. If you haven't got that, then, you know, then it's difficult.
Do you ever encounter any sexism at all? Do you ever get people like blokes saying, hold on, why are you doing this? You can't do this. This isn't a job for girls. You should be buying good though. You shouldn't be doing proper Bhangra moves like you're doing with the legs and arms in the air. Do you get that?
Harjap all the time.
Yeah. And what's your reaction? Because I've seen that, because I saw a couple of tweets where people were going, not now, but previously, girl, or like, you know, in the Bhangra competitions that come on, like Bhangra wars and stuff like that, they say, oh no, girls doing that, that's just not right, you know.
Yeah.
And do you think there's a bit of it's a sexist attitude? Why shouldn't girls be doing that?
It's kind of that mentality of a boisterous, you know, art. It's a boisterous thing, you know, you know, the
much for the and all that.
You know, but when you have an elegant side of the art, that's when it becomes unique and different. And that's what we try and do. We're not doing a boisterous, even though we play door, we're playing door because we know how to play the door. We don't get tired holding the doors.
It's not an amateur job you're doing that.
It's difficult. We have to learn the art. If you learn something properly and you develop it in your own style, why can't women do it? I think we do it much better than guys.
I think you do as well. And tell me something, these are the key sort of questions. Has this helped you get closer to your language and maybe closer to your religions? Do you think that's helped it? And you know, like when we're all listening to a song, half of us don't even know what's being said. You know, someone could be saying, he could be swearing at us in Punjabi and we go, yeah, oi, oi, oi. Do you think it's helped you with your Punjabi and helped you come closer?
Yeah, because like before I used to be into the like R&B hip hop, but ever since I've joined Eternal Taal, I've been into Punjabi music. I've loved it. I've loved playing Taal, and I've even started the dancing.
Do you now encourage your parents to teach me more Punjabi, and would you like to read and write it one day?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I think that's probably the biggest gain you can get out of it, right? Because you see a lot of kids nowadays. I see a lot of them in the clubs and all that and stuff, you know, and when you see them dancing, then you think, do you really know what they're talking about? I mean, some songs are dharmic and they're still going, and they're talking about shaheeds and, you know, and people being killed and all that, and they're still going, oh, wicked tune, man, wicked tune. And you sit there thinking, leave it out, mate, you don't even know what's being said. But do you think that this sort of encourages girls to get more in their roots?
I think we all already automatically, being born into a Punjabi family, automatically have our roots.
But you had the added advantage of your being a musical superstar in
so I've been brought up with people like Alap and that was folk music, that was raw folk, you know.
And you had the advantage of listening to Kuldeep Manak ji and
Chamkila, and you know, these kind of tracks don't come out now, Harjap. You know, you get the more kind of a drum and bass feel of tracks of Bhangra music more pop music, you know, stuff that I probably don't listen to now. And I'm not surprised if these guys don't listen to it either, because some of the words is probably just one sentence, you know, and the rest of it is just drum and bass. So but back in the day when they love old school music, they recognize A.S. Kang, they recognize Sahotas, but put a latest track on, they're like, who's that? What we're dancing to? So it's difficult but you know, they embrace it, they learn it, and they want to be involved. That's the best thing about us.
Do you prefer folk music to definitely to the new stuff that comes out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer like songs from producers and stuff from India. Like here, it's just everything just sounds the same. Everything. No, I think we all agree with that.
We're quite diplomatic. It does seem like people are just producing the same stuff again, Hannah. And I suppose because you lot must know what works and what doesn't, because you have to dance to it and probably play Taal to it as well.
Sometimes I think it's quite hard to pick the right song. So we have to, that takes quite a long time to figure out what's suitable for girls to dance to as well, because we're not going to be dancing to songs that involve drinking alcohol and all that.
But you could dance to something like Dede Gira, right?
Yeah,
you
something cultural, something folk.
Or Diljit's Nataniya Lalkoriya. It's a popular tune that people like to. So you're right. There's not a lot of tunes that are made for females out there and done by females out there. This is an female producer?
There's no one else doing it, Harjap. There's a few female DJs that are coming out more because they feel more comfortable in doing DJing in front of a female audience. Yeah. But asking that female to go into a club scene and say, right, all the big male-dominating producers have come from club scenes. Yeah. Right now, you've got to go into a club. Yeah. Now, for a young woman in that kind of culture, maybe she will find it threatening, and we would encourage it, but maybe start on a stepping stone where it's comfortable for the females. And that's why I'm trying to embrace these, like, to be comfortable in what people are looking at. They've got to be comfortable in their surroundings, the atmosphere. I mean, we don't perform at clubs and gigs, and it's not our scene, to be honest.
Yeah. Seeing is, like, I don't think it would suit you, or not, because I think a lot of people then sort of respect and think, well, hold on, you're at such a sort of high sort of stage, and that if you do, the guys must do it as well, right? There's probably perform at clubs and gigs, but it just looks like, and Punjabi people are very protective about their women, and it's like, it's okay for us to look at somebody else's missus and daughter doing it, but when it's our own, and then we think, well, hold on, now this is just not right.
Yeah.
And I think it's up to the girls to sort of realise that they're in that sort of position and to have their izzat in their own hands. Because I look at what you lot do, and then I go onto a music channel and look at some other girls and what Punjabi girls do in a video, and then I just think, well, hold on, that's just can't difference. Do you think there's a sort of bit of pressure on you as well there?
But Harjap, you are responsible for your own actions.
You are.
So nobody can turn around and say, "Tusi dassya nahi sanu, assi itthe pahunch gaye si, tusi dassya nahi."
Yeah, tusi dassya nahi, main nangi nachan the video. Oh, did you realise?
You know what I was doing? Sorry. It was, they are responsible for your own actions, and hence why the first thing I ask is, where's the location of what you want us to do?
Yeah.
And two, what would you like us to provide? As soon as we get that inkling of sanu music video chahidi hai, I'm just like, well, what do you want us to do in this music video? What's the song about? You've got to send me the song. Oh, normal artists don't ask us to send the song. Well, I do, because we want to know what the song is about. And, sometimes people feel that threatening, that but end of the day, if we want to know where our audience is and who's looking at us and what kind of atmosphere and field I'm taking my girls to, we have to ask the questions.
Do you think that this has helped girls become more confident and independent? So, I mean, what were they like when they first came to you?
Oh, Harjap, I mean, I've seen these, I've seen these, I mean, Aman's our longest member. She's been in the group for 5 years, and we all are close. And when they first started, they were just like, and they're playing, and I'm just like, you have to show passion. This is not like I'm going to break a nail kind of pose. Yeah, you have to play the door with passion. I mean, when we play door, and when I tell them, you have to show that passion and enthusiasm to your audience, so they think they're playing in their own minds. Oh, and that's how they're playing. So that's what we try and bring. But it's difficult. When they first started, they were really, really shy.
We're going to see the passion and enthusiasm after the break. Set karna sadly performance karniya, and then we'll continue our conversation with Eternal Taal. Aisi milde hain break to baad. Show ਗੱਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ Eternal Taal ਨਾਲ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਫੀਮੇਲ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੋਸਟ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਬਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ ਫਿਲਮ 'ਚ ਯਮਲਾ ਪਗਲਾ ਦੀਵਾਨਾ 2 ਧਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਨਾਲ, ਤੇ also they've been at Glastonbury Festival, they've been in Trafalgar Square, wherever you name it, they've probably been there. ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਆ, and not only ਭੰਗੜਾ but also ਢੋਲ ਵੀ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ, and ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਗਰ ਟੁਕ 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 ਦੇਸੀ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਘਰ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਪਾੜੀ ਦਿਓ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਪਾਸਾ ਢੋਲ ਦਾ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਢੋਲ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ, ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਢੋਲ ਵਜਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ, and musically trained, and the youngest member is 10 years old. We don't know how old the oldest member is, but she doesn't look that old. So encouraging females to be with their virsa. Hona dekhiye na da kamal once again, they're ready to perform. So take it away, ladies. Eternal Taal. ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਧਮਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਕਮਾਲ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਕਮਿੰਗ ਬੈਕ ਅਗੇਨ ਟੂ ਟਾਕ ਟੂ ਅਸ ਤੇ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਢੋਲ ਰੱਖਦੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਡੋਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਸਟ ਰੁਸਟ ਦਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਇਹ ਇਟਰਨਲ ਤਾਲ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਐਂਡ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਢੋਲ ਪਲੇਅਰਸ ਫੀਮੇਲ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਹੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਉਹ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਜੋ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਐਂਡ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਅ ਲੋਟ ਬੈਟਰ ਸੋ ਨਾਲੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਵੈਲ ਟੂ ਅ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਨਾਲੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਬਸਾਉਣੇ ਆ they can have kids but ਇਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ obviously we're listening to today ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੂਹ ਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ hobby ਆ and they're taking it very professionally now so first of all your parents must be proud of you I mean I'm feeling proud of you and I'm not even your parents but you know they must be feeling very proud of you right
yeah well I've obviously told my mom that she knows I'm here and I've told her to watch and she was obviously like really happy she knows Pav and we all socialise so the fact that she knows that I'm doing something that I love and I'm not just doing it because just for the fact that I don't know
you just want to be on TV or something yeah. If you wanted to do that you would have become a DJ you would have released a song that's it end of story
but I said do love it and I mean and she's a wicked teacher and
it's brilliant I mean you know I'm so amazed by this because I've just come from a country India I just came back yesterday where some people view having daughters as a curse and they try and kill them before they're born they try and kill them at birth we're all aware of what goes on in India but you know if they've ever sat back and thought well hold on these girls are going to become like this when they grow up it's just amazing that people would not want daughters and it's quite a shame we come from a country where all of this is going on and Punjab's got one of the highest rates and that sort of stuff. Obviously you hear about stuff like that. Well, how does that make you feel?
Well, India's stepping stone already starts off with poverty, it's hard to do work. Yeah. It's difficult to make a living. Everybody wants to come over to the UK. Yeah. You obviously
that's what I'm here for. Bring them over.
So I think because we don't have those, limitations, they want one education, have that respect for parents, and two, do something that you are going to be happy with, but don't let us down. My parents said, you're not going to play doll all your life. I was like, well, not. And it's like,
you just
and it's just like, we struggled in the foundries, Dad struggled.
Yeah.
And he says, I want you to have an education, go to university. I'm a full-time lecturer in computer science, full-time, but part-time, my passion for music won't go and won't leave. And I think all our parents have said, do your education, be something, and always have that passion and love. You have to have something going on in your life that's going to be like wow, and wow is, bringing it to Taal with these. Like, without them, there would be me. Wouldn't be me.
If I'm a parent, तो मैं सोच रहा कि मैं अपनी लड़की को थोड़ी ग्रुप भेजना है. How can you assure me that that 6 months later, एक किसी मुंडे का नहीं भज जाती या डांस करना भज जाती? I mean, you come across like you're a big sister and a mother in a sort of way,
Not that older.
No, to these girls. But it's almost like you've got a lot of responsibility, Anna, on your head.
Yeah.
People must say, look, Anna, Pav, देख लें, साड़ी कुड़ी की ज़िम्मेवारी तेरी है.
Harjap, we haven't been in that situation or that predicament yet.
Yeah.
The parents, I mean, they're all at home. We've got a parent with us today. They absolutely love the group. Yeah. They don't need to say to us, you shouldn't be doing this, and you make sure they do this.
They know that their
automatically know that if there's no guys in the group, hardly in the group anyway. But the audiences, and we take the parents with us. So we take them to our bookings, all our parents were probably the biggest fans on the Bollywood sets than us. I mean, we were there doing they were moving around. We had more pictures with the parents. With the parents and the stars than we did of ourselves. But because of the fact that they're so, they're so vibrant about the whole thing, they're so passionate about it, that's what we love. So we don't be in that predicament yet.
But where do you want to take Eternal Taal? I mean, you've seen it come from 3 or 4 members all the way to 27, 30 odd members now, and you've gone from performing live at Glastonbury and Trafalgar Square, and now you've gone into Bollywood. Where do you want to reach with it, or is it not that sort of aim orientated? Is it just sort of everyone should just come together and have some fun?
I mean, when I started my first class in '99, my aim was to develop a group.
Right.
The second dream was to go to Glastonbury.
Right.
Those are the only 2 things on my mind. Bollywood was like, my dad's kind of like, yeah, you need to get into Bollywood. Once you get into Bollywood, hardcore jandi ya, aadi bhi jande ya, tu kapin jandi, and I'm just like, but for me, I think performing on a stage with a group. There's a lot of females out there that are going solo, you know, started off from YouTube videos. But the fact that we've come from the roots of where we were born, firstly, in Birmingham, you know, as UK citizens, and then, you know, having that passion and development as we went on over the years, having a group alongside me, Harjap, is a dream come true itself. That's the first. But having to be able to take them on Glastonbury, we've been to Sweden, we've been to Spain, we've been to Belgium, we've been to Switzerland. Brilliant. You know, all these are, you know, performances that I've only dreamt of as a girl. Taking, you know, little Rav to a Bollywood shoot and the parents being there to see it, you know, those things are priceless.
For a 10-year-old to have achieved to be in a Bollywood film with biggest stars in Bollywood at the age of 10, that is something people don't even dream of, don't even achieve till they're achieve it till they're 50 or whatever.
I mean, inside, yeah, I was like wanted to dance all over the place, but I had to keep that kind of face
composure,
and
like,
come on,
yeah.
listen, manager
ਏਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕੱਲ ਰਿਤਿਕ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣੇ ਭਰਾਵਾ ਤੇ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਹੋਣੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਾ leave it out.
Yeah, somebody did rang me, I said no. But for the youngsters to be on the sets and taking pictures with these stars and their parents going, you know, my daughters in that film, can you know, that's the song. That itself was one of the biggest achievements for me. But being able to share it with longest member of groups who are loyal, who are committed, who work hard, you know, I don't even know. I'm happy to sit here or job and talk to you for the rest of my life, but you know, but the fact that, you know, when we're doing these performances and these high-profile shows, that is the biggest achievement.
What about girls out there who want to form their girl groups? What advice have you got for them?
I mean, go for it. There's a lot of girls groups out there, you know, a lot of Bhangra, female Bhangra groups and stuff. They do a lot of competitions. They do.
Yeah, I've seen some in Bhangra Wars and the competition. They're mixed groups, I think. An all-female group, I think you're the first one that I've seen. But there are a few out there who are doing their thing.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. I mean, they love the adrenaline of competing and being rewarded at the end. Whereas our reward is being on stage, having smiles on people's faces, and being able to tell people like you that this is what we've done for 14 years, you know.
Why don't you compete? I haven't seen you lot competing. Do you lot compete?
Harjap, we haven't got, you know, we've never done a competition. And we haven't
no one's invited you.
You know,
I'm going to invite you to the next one.
You can, but we're so busy in what we're doing as a group.
You need time
it takes
to compete.
its toll sometimes. Sometimes I need a day off, and sometimes, you know, little Rav needs to sleep at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes it is difficult, but without them and without the parents, this wouldn't even be an achievement, to be honest.
Do you think, like I said, overall you've said a lot of positives about how it's helped your members and, you know, how it's helped. Do you think now that even for the parents, do you think they should let their kids go out a bit more and definitely go into these sort of cultural activities and realise that, you know, that this is a good thing to do? I mean, it's definitely helped. It's definitely changed you. You've got much more confident as a result of it. I mean, to do that on stage and this. Don't worry, it's only 55 countries and probably about 500,000 people watching. But I didn't tell you that bit, I only told you that. But yeah, to do that stuff, I mean, it's not easy.
I mean, we've performed on stage at the Graham Norton Christmas show. That was 17,000 people, 20,000 people in the LG Arena. Yeah. And being on that stage itself, performing to so many people, we black that out and we just focus on why we are on stage, who are we with, and what we are trying to achieve. And the achievement comes with our performance, our hard work, and basically the way we are as a group. I mean, you know, the way we train and the way we work hard for our achievements, that is, you know, on limits of what whoever, you know, could be one person watching us or 10,000 people watching us. We will still do exactly the same thing on both.
I'm getting messages already in a break. ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਵਿਆਹੀਆਂ ਹਲੇ ਛੋਟੀਆਂ ਆ ਭਰਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਲਾਣੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਵਿਆਹ ਦਾ ਕਸੋੜੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਿਆਹ ਦੇ ਪਈ ਹੋਆ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਕਰਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਕੋਈ pressure ਨਹੀਂ. I want to ask your members over there, I mean, what have you gained from doing this? What have you felt personally you've gained from doing it?
I think I've gained a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And I've gained another family, so it's amazing, really.
Bro, that is sweet, isn't it? So it's the last one. This is like romance. When boys do it, it's called bromance. Yeah. But so you've definitely had positive effects from it, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, meeting new people, performing in front of everyone is amazing.
And do you get, like, every time you perform, do you get adrenaline rush? Is it a rush to do it? Is it like, wow, man, this is something that I've achieved? Or is it just now become a routine, like, oh, this is getting boring and stuff like this?
I think you know, we still have that little butterfly effect going on. You know, before we, you know, we always say "Bale Sonia Sat Sri Akal" every time we do a show. We did it outside here. You know, we always respect that. You know, Vaheguru's always been a part of us as well as our parents. They've taught us well, and having that achievement and having that faith amongst us is gets rid of those butterflies, and we just think we're on our stage. You know, it's just a performance. It's just a, you know, close group of girls getting together. We're going to play a bit of Taal. We're going to do a bit of dance. But it's not that, you know. It's meeting up on a weekly basis. The parents, you know, we go on meals together. We invite each other to our parties, our private functions. So the outcomes of what we've done is more beneficial to actually. We've actually joined a group where we've achieved, like Rab was saying, achieved a new family, and that's probably what the best thing is.
Where can people contact you if they want to contact you? So you've got a Facebook page?
Yes, we've got Facebook, Eternal Taal. We've got Twitter, @EternalTaal. We're on Instagram, we're on Keek. Our website is eternaltaal.com. All the backstage exclusive pictures of the stars and the backstage when we're performing with the director on his birthday. We perform for his birthday on the sets. That's all on our website, eternaltaal.com. And our classes are based in West Bromwich.
And the last question, who would you like to perform for that you haven't performed for? Like, if you could perform for anyone in the world, in your audience, who would you like to have?
Wow. Well, Bollywood, the Deals, Punjabis, you know, they've done. That was one big achievement. I mean, we are into all types of music.
Yeah, but no, come on, one person out there that you could perform for.
No idea.
You know what? Inspirationally, I think, you know. I think our parents probably.
Well, you can do that at home.
Yeah. Let's get out of that one. I think having parents watch us, and my dad being in the industry for 46 years, we've got Dippa who's sitting, you know, opposite us, watching us on backstage. We've got Kinde and Kuli and Khan, everybody at home, performing in front of them and them seeing us on stage. That is what we've always wanted, and obviously in front of you, Harjap.
That's it, yeah. Well, one of them's done. So, thank you very much for coming down.
Brilliant.
Great inspiration to ladies out there.
Thank you very much for having us.
And they say Britain's got talent, but Punjab's got talent, and Smevik's got talent as well. So, thank you for coming down. Hopefully we'll have you on the show again.
Brilliant.
At the time. And, you know, love what you're doing, respect to what you're doing. ਇਹ ਜੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਇਟਰਨਲ ਤਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੂਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਗਰ ਚਾਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹਾਰਵੈਸਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਵੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਮਾੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਿਸਪਲਿਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਘਰੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਣੀਆਂ ਨੱਠ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਜੀ ਫਲਾਨਿਆਂ ਧਮਕੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਜੋ ਬੱਚੇ 'ਚ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੜਾਵਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਿਪਰੈਸ ਕਰੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਕਰੇਜ ਕਰੋ ਐਂਡ ਇਟਸ ਗ੍ਰੇਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿਖਾ ਲਿਆ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਖਿਆਲ they did better than what the boys do so ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧਾਈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੂੰਗਾ Friday normal time when we do the Magajmari and next week's show is all about young girls as well all about ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ but in a different light what we're going to show you ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦਿਖਾ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਜੋ ਬੱਚੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ next week little bit more depressing than this but still message ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ and from the girls ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ